Do 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 do. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to my little world. And it is very little, it seems, most of the time. So here we are, another night, our second night of Tabletop Tuesday. I'm going to get into that here in just a minute. Going to kind of give everybody a minute to show up, and got several things to talk about tonight, so which is good. That's always good. Good. So how are you doing tonight? I guess everybody can hear me okay. Ready. Good to hear. It's been 2 weeks for me. It's like the week, it never stops. Just one right after the other. But all in all, it was actually a good day. I guess I can't fault it too much. So a couple of things fell into line, so we're good. It's good. It's okay. And it's Taco Tuesday. I mean, how can you go wrong with Taco Tuesday? That's what I'm saying. That's the way I'd be. That's the way I roll. Oh, maybe going to be a slow night tonight. I'm going to have all kinds of good stuff, and nobody's going to be here to hear it. Well, they'll probably download it and watch it later. I know we've been getting quite a bit of traffic on our YouTube page, so that's good. I don't know, it's hard to track here on Twitch how many people download and stuff, because if you're not at a certain level, they don't keep your videos for only a couple of weeks or something. So that's why I try to push them off onto YouTube as quick as I can. Oh. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to give everybody a little bit of time to get here and get in and sit here and play Pew Pew with my Kodiak. It's still sitting here from last week. Pew, 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 pew. Tough titty. I would say that I am pushing right up there at the top, so I don't know why you would have low sound. Nobody else has told me that. You're the first one. La 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 la. La 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 la. Not according to my list. So everybody's list is different. So I know that the one, I guarantee if I was low sound, the one person that I know is watching, she would be telling me, texting me, "Hey, I can't hear you." Probably the rise in the YouTube video usage is the chroniclers of Cav. Possibly. Everybody's a comedian. Everybody's on a roll tonight. Law. I'll even turn it up just a little bit for you, James. But it says I'm pushing bar, pushing big. La 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 la. All right. The witching time has come. So, probably the first thing that everybody would like to know is, where are we at with the great laser saga of Talon Games? Well, amazingly so, the power supply showed up a day early. So we got that this afternoon. I got it put in, and I completely and was ready for it not to work, but lo and behold, it did. So the laser is back up running. We right away went to cutting with it. We got about halfway done today. With my goal right now is I'm going to try to hit 5 or 6 ships a day. So because by the time we got it in and got started, it was about 4 o'clock today. So didn't get a full day in it, but we should hit the ground running tomorrow. So as long as that keeps working, we're good to go for now. So we have another laser that's going to be coming in. It's probably going to be next week. We're still trying to get all the shipping and everything arranged for it. Again, nobody works on my schedule, so what they tell you and what actually happens are generally two different things. So that's good news. We got a laser. We're cutting. We got stuff cutting. Let's see, what's next? Oh, orders. All right, so as of right now, every order has been shipped that does not have a drop ship. Get that straight, Mr. Walker. All right, so if you had a drop ship ordered, we have not sent that order out. There were some bigger orders that had a drop ship in it that we went ahead and sent, and we will split shipment. So if you had a big order in, especially if you had a rule book, stuff like that, we got all those out the door. And on a big order, economically, we can eat an extra shipping on that. So anyway, so a lot of people will be getting their orders, and then we'll be having to send them the drop ship. I know also there were some that we sent out with the swag bags that do not have the terrain bases in them. We will be sending those out to everybody. That was the first thing I cut today. It was a big chunk of those. So if you didn't get your terrain base in there, it'll say on your invoice if we shorted you. And we'll be getting those out to you, and those are easy. We'll stick those in an envelope and put a stamp on them, and you'll get them. But other than that, we up until, I think that's all orders through the weekend are either shipped or getting ready to be done once we get drop ships in. We will send those out in the order that we received them. So if you were the first one to order a drop ship, yours will be the first one sent. If you're the 5th guy, the 5th, and so on. So people that ordered the drop ship last week will be in the end of the pile. So I apologize for that, but I think that it'll work out okay, because obviously the people that ordered during the convention, they've waited 2 weeks at this point, whereas people that ordered last week will be a week. So it'll work out good. We're getting there. What else? And then, like I said, once the new laser gets here, it's big enough. It will almost cut one drop ship at a time. It actually is a much bigger working bed, so it almost gets a whole drop ship in one pass. So that will help immensely. I did get the 3D files loaded up for the front and back missile, for the missile heads and the exhaust. So it's not a full sheet, it's a half sheet. It'll do 4x4. It's actually 50 something by 48, something like that. So it will actually, you could do a full sheet, but as a pass through, but it'll only do a half sheet at a time. So you could actually do a half sheet, then push it and do the other half. It's all metric anyway. Not this one. This is actually a U.S. laser, so it's all inch base. So I've had all my fun with Chinese lasers that I want to have. So we are going US. But much more powerful, much more bigger, faster. We can rebuild it. But it'll be good. Then we'll have the two of them going, and then it should be all to the races. Then we can catch up on a bunch of other projects that we've been wanting to do and go from there. I am out of this first new batch of ships. I am going to pull one out, and do the construction guide with it. So we will have that going up, and I'm hoping to have that done here in the next day or two, so it'll actually be up by the time people start getting drop ships. A lot of orders should have been hitting today. I mean, everything that got sent out Thursday and Friday, I would think people will start hitting. I haven't seen anybody say anything, but I know a lot of Kodiaks and Mambas went out the door. So, crazy nuts. All right, so let's see. So what I'm going to talk about, of course, and if you're new, wasn't here last week, I'm kind of changing the format a little bit. It's not going to be Terrain Tuesday anymore. It's a Tabletop Tuesday. And while I will still do some terrain, and I talked about the new map, the new stuff I'm working for the new map, that's going to feature the crash dropship. We work on some of that too. But I wanted to be able to switch gears and do some other things too. So I think the tabletop aspect gives it a wide variety. And it may not always be CAV related stuff. It may be something else I'm working on, or a new game I'm looking at, or, so kind of a wider appeal, maybe too, for people. But because I know that it's all on everybody's mind, or most people, according to what I keep hearing, is I have been thinking ahead again about the RPG a little bit. It's a good thing to kind of split my brain off for a little bit while I'm trying to get fired up. Now, we had talked about in the past and over the CAVCon that the engine that I plan on using at this point is the Year Zero engine. It has been used in a couple of games. It's got a new game coming out, a remake of Twilight 2000. We'll be using it, but a game that is using it, or a version of it, is Alien, the role-playing game. And I thought that was a really good one, and that's kind of even led me to kind of pick the engine, because it in Twilight 2000, because a lot of things in those games are obviously Aliens, the movies, everything like that. I've always been a big fan of. Twilight 2000 was a big game I played back years ago, and so there's a lot of things that I think that those games will have in common with CAV, and so I think that helps too, as we go in and figure out how we're going to set up CAVs and everything like that. So what I did is I went in and I ordered all the Alien stuff that was in right now. So we're going to have a little bit of an unboxing here, and we'll see. I haven't had a chance to read anything yet, and so we'll see what we got here. So let's switch over to our overhead camera. All right, so the first thing that I got, I guess I better move up a little bit here. Get out of the way. Go away. Okay. My camera switched around again. All right, wait a minute. That ain't gonna work. Let's see. Flip vertical. Whoop. That didn't help. That's what helped. Transform. Flip horizontal. Oh, voila! Technology at its best. All right. And we're going to shrink me down a little bit. I wish it was that easy. Okay, so we've got that. So this is the Alien RPG. This is the starter box set. And so we'll see. I did take the plastic off of it already, but we'll see what's inside of here. Maybe. Cool cover. I like the kind of the dull coat on the box. Good solid box, so that's always good. I'm sure we'll tear it all up. All right, so the company that puts it out is called Free League. And apparently, let's see, they do Alien, they have a Forbidden Lands, let's see, Tales from the Loop, Symbaroum, I have no idea what that is. Oh, there's Twilight 2000, so that's the new one that they got coming up. Vaesen, which is a Nordic horror game, role-playing. Mutant Year Zero. And then Coriolis is a science fiction role-playing game set in remote. So that might be a cool one to look at. And then Mork Borg, a doom metal album of a game. I don't know. Who cares? All right. Let's see what we got here. Now, what's funny, hopefully not funny, I didn't see anywhere on the box that this is based on the Year Zero system. But on the website and everything, it says that it is. I'm not sure why they wouldn't have marked that on here, but I think it is. Hopefully it is. Everything else I've read said it was. All right. We've got some character sheets. Oh, I guess these are pre-made. John Wilson, company agent. Kyla Rye, roughneck. Vanessa Miller, officer. Leah Davis, a pilot. And Laram Cham, a roughneck. So, then I guess it's got pictures. Okay, so we got that. We have a map, I guess, of the, I'm not going to open it all up, of the universe in Alien. Counters. So, since I haven't read enough about it, I don't know what they're for. I think they take, I think it's all, they take the game and then the engine and then change it to what they need to for the particular game. Yeah, like I said, I don't know why they don't mention somewhere, hey, this is based on the Year Zero. But so this is, I guess, the starter rule book. Lots of movie art, things like that. Very, very much of a take on from the movie. So there's that. Again, then we have, I guess, Chariot of the Gods, which is, I'm assuming is a scenario. So I guess we get on a ship and there's the characters from the sheets. So I guess that's what that is. Something going on the ship. So that's probably why the counter's there. Now, this is one thing that I thought was cool that when I looked at it earlier, when I first took the plastic off of it, is apparently it uses cards for initiative maybe, since it says init on it, which goes good with CAV since we use cards for initiative. Okay. Then I guess we have some equipment cards. Cool. else here? Bolt gun, pulse rifle. So like I said, a lot of this stuff will cross over really good to CAV, so it gives us a really good start with some of this stuff. Heavy pulse rifle. All right, smart gun. Oh, we know that's the machine gun. Incinerator. All right, then we have something about people. So we got all these different guys, mercenary, pilots, mechanics. Miller's agenda. So some things going on. This probably has something to do with the scenario. Act 3, note to Lucas, infected agenda, effects of infection. So anyway, so that's kind of cool. Stuff here on the backs of them. But like I said, the fact that they're using cards, I think is really cool because that'll tie in good with what we're doing. We have dice. It looks like that they're just standard D6, which is also good. Hey, guess what? Another CAV tie-in. D6s. Looks like they all are just numbered 1 through 6, with 6 having the radar thing on it. I think I saw some with an, oops. Come back, little Sheba. Oh, the yellow ones have 6s and aliens on the ones. Yeah. So we got dice. Woohoo! All right, so that's what's in the box set. So we got that. So, and this, like I said, I'm gonna start reading this, looking at this, see how it goes. See what they've used from the set that we downloaded to kind of look at. Put all that back in the box. The thing that the role-playing game will be good for, it will help me develop the universe more to get it more beyond than what's just in my head right now. So we got that. Okay. Yeah, Free League is the company. Yeah, Free League. I would say they are out of Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden. But I just find it funny that they don't mention the year 0 there anywhere. All right, next up is like apparently that the book that comes in the starter set's a more of a basic one. So here we've got the rule book, the big book. This baby is coming in at 392 pages. I think that's cool that they've come up with their star map. So that'll be kind of cool. Kind of the same layout from the first book. Obviously they get into more of the stuff from the game or from the movies. Nice layout. Very spacey. There's the Cheyenne. There's the APC vehicles. But they have vehicle combat section, which is good. That'll give us a good start for coming up with rules for CAVs. So space stations, communications. Oh, there's the Corvus. Looks like everything's working in dollars. Make us there. Spaceships of 2183. There's the Bison, which was the Nostromo. So, very interesting looking. It'll be fun to. I'd say a lot of this is a lot of background stuff. So the United Americas, the Union of Progressive Peoples. That's what we got here. The Independent Core System Colonies, Interstellar Commerce Commission, the ICC, Weyland-Yutani, of course, LaSalle Bionational. So, which is corporations, which is cool because we have a strong corporate thing in the CAV. A lot of stuff about the worlds. So, a lot of stuff there. Give us a lot of things to build from. I'm having a little chest problem. Yes, it is. It is. This is written on the Year Zero system, and it's hardcore sci-fi, and so I got it in to kind of see how they've used the system for sci-fi things. So that'll be good for that. Then the other thing that they had, I guess this was just a scenario pack, which is the Destroyer of Worlds. We'll see what's in here. You're getting to see this open for the first time here. Didn't even get it up. Cinematic scenario, written by sci-fi novelist Andrew Gaska. Players take on the role of colonial marines. Let's see. So we'll see. Oh, silica. Good. Yummy. Okay, so let's see. We've got more. We've got story cards, personal agenda, more new weapons cards there. It's in those. We have Fort Nebraska, which apparently is some kind of a space station that's on a very large piece of paper. Oh, we've got a city too. Spaceport, District South. From Ericus, from the United Americas colony. Oil fields. Fort Nebraska is actually on the surface. Okay. Cool. I guess that's the base on the back side of it. What else we got here? All right, pre-made characters. Blah. That's boring. I hate pre-made characters. It's all right for conventions and stuff, but not how I like to play. Oh, player map, the Eye of Oblivion. So you get some player maps. Let's see, we have outbreak on Yahora Station. Responding to reports on unidentified outbreak on Yahora Station. Your CBRN platoon found everyone aboard dead. Fort Nebraska. So more stuff there. And then I guess this is the scenario. Oh, yeehaw! Shouldn't matter there with the. So go like that. Ooh, there, that works. What's okay here? There's a screen there. All right. Sorry. Get quick to. Gotta keep me on target here. All right. So just a bunch of scenario stuff, characters. Kind of pretty much like that one that came in the box set. So just new one. Of course, with aliens, you got all kinds of stuff there that they're going to be killing aliens. But we have a stage 4 drone, a stage 5 soldier, and a stage 6 queen. Oh, stage 1 is an egg. Stage 2 is a face hugger. Stage 3 is a chest burster. And they have special abilities. Oop. We're using art, those guys. All right. So there you have it. That's what I got in. Gives me plenty of late night reading stuff. Stuff to go over. There's a catalog, more cards. There, all in there. All right. So it did the Twilight 2000 RPG. They did a Kickstarter on, which I backed. So that one should be coming out pretty soon. I think I got an email not too long ago. Yeah, I don't know that it's the same rule set. Obviously, I know we put a link up at one point as far as, I guess we don't need this one back on. There we go. See me in all my glory there. Yeah, it was. I think it's been a couple of months now since ago. You might, if they probably have a late backer thing. You can do just do a search on Kickstarter for Twilight 2000 because they haven't fulfilled yet. I think I'm supposed to be getting a PDF link or something. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't read all the time, all that stuff. But anyway, when we put up the link back at a time at some point on Facebook and stuff, where is the basic year zero rules, which I guess, and then you take those and adapt those to what you're doing. So it didn't seem like that there were very much. I don't remember how many pages. Didn't seem like there was a whole lot of stuff there. So obviously, there's a lot of room to convert things, and so that was what I thought would be cool too. Is that way we would have a core thing to work from. But from what I read initially with the stuff that goes in there, a lot of the systems work kind of CAV-like, kind of go in with the miniature side of it. So I think that'll be cool. I think that'll work out good. All right. So what else? What else would you like to talk about tonight? That was my 30-minute intro. I already talked about that I got the laser back up and working, so we're back in business for now. So we are started cutting again tonight. Hopefully get a good day tomorrow. And that is an intro to the, that's as far as I've got on the game. So it's like, there's not a whole lot for me to tell you yet. That's more of the, let's see what came in the box. So, Malvernus religion, I'm not super deep into that yet. So, anything I tell you on that would probably be, is still kind of up in the air. How active are the various faction intelligence services? I would say pretty active. They're all going to be trying to keep track of each other. So, that point there is of course the problem you're going to run into there is, with alien races, they're really going to be pushing towards a lot more covert, passive observations for the most part. Or really spending a lot of time and effort to subvert people in there. There's always somebody that's willing to sell out their brother. So, have you guys got any general ideas on how the CAV RPG is going to play? Yes and no. and we've had this conversation sort of already, but I don't want to make an RPG that is just a more in-depth system of fighting in calves, if that makes sense. I don't want to be a big cav. To me, the vast majority, 90% of the time, you won't even be around a cav. So probably not. Probably no rock would have any covert ops, obviously. So that lends itself into a whole big problem then, and that's the same problem I've always had with Mech Warrior and with some of the RPGs out there that are based upon miniature games. Obviously, in sci-fi makes it 10 times harder. Fantasy's easy. I mean, fantasy's easy to set anything up. You can create your own universe, and it all boils down to fighting monsters. But with sci-fi, there has to be more of a nuance in order to make it work. So that's where the hard part's going to be, because obviously, if we set up the game and everybody's cav pilots, and that gets old. So then it goes back to, well, then you have to make up, you have 6 different characters. So for this game, you use your cav pilot. This game, you use a vehicle guy. This guy's a scout. So it's hard to build a group that you play with any consistency. So that's going to be the crux of how to make this work, is how do we make a sci-fi game that holds the cav universe, but we're not around playing in calves, and that's really what will end up happening. Is I think the universe of cav will become the backdrop of that RPG, but I think that it won't necessarily, you may never even be a cav pilot. There may not even be a reason for you to have, or retired or something like that, because I see covert ops, I see police actions, there's a lot of things that will revolve around battles, but we're not going to just get into a cav and play a big expanded version of the miniatures game. Now, I think that there'll be times that you may have to be in a cav, and those rules will be in there. And you as a GM and you as the players, you'll set the game how you want to set it up. But I'm forewarning you, what my object is to provide a wide universe that you can go in and figure out what you want to be, whether you want to be a pirate or a corporate guy, or you may be a miner. There could be a whole deal about mining a new world, searching for new worlds and stuff like that. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind in the direction that I'm looking to go for. So with the Explorer Corps and stuff like that, and that's what I'm saying. There's, if you're sent out to explore a new world or something like that, obviously there could be, a cav squad attached to it for security, or if you're, working for a private entity or something like that. So that's really what I'm trying to accomplish with the game. Like I said, I'm not going to try to make a expanded version of mech combat. So hopefully that won't turn you off, but if it does, I'm sorry. Because it all boils down to I can't get behind a game, I can't spend effort, I can't work on a game if I don't believe in what's going on with it. So it's very easy for me to and it's like in Shadowrun, you can build cyber soldiers that can murder everything. You probably won't shoot anything, most of it. And that's the deal. To me, that's role playing. It's obviously there's times for combat, but for the most time there's other stuff that nuances back there that you want to work on. So, but that kind of gives you and we are still, this is a long way to develop here. I've got a whole list of things that need to happen before that this thing can happen. But if we can get together, actually I need to change that. Just a second here, because guess what? Everybody has redeemed their prize winners, so I really don't need that in there. Let's go in here and change that out quick. Edit. La, 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 la. Cut. Here's my keyboard here. Delete. You guys are making it hard here to do this. There we go. All right. Save. Close. Oh, too much stuff to do at any given time. All right. Yeah, just having fun is the key. And you're right, Colonel Kane, that's probably more, the game will probably have more in common with Traveler or GURPS Space than it will anything as far as that. Because that's the kind of stuff I want. Now, and again, because me and James had this conversation, that all the things will be there to allow you to do that. So if you as a GM and your players want to just play a mech squad, cav squad, vehicle squad, whatever, and get in there and do that and fight and everything like that and spend 80% of your time in your cav, you will be able to do that. It's the same thing with just like the miniatures game. I'm not trying to force you into a circle on how to play. Everything will be there to allow you to play the way that you want to play. I'm just making sure that you understand, though, my thinking behind the game system is and how where that'll be, where I'll push that. GURPS has Traveler, and GURPS has a little bit of everything. So they've definitely over the years written a bunch of stuff for GURPS. But matter of fact, I've got a couple ideas for a couple of scenarios right off the bat that I'll probably kind of flesh out, so that we will have some kind of a playable demo version by ReaperCon. So if you will be there, you will see that, and then we will. I'll try to put that all together in some kind of a document that we can release that same weekend. So that people will be able to download it and look at it. Oh, and like I said, a reminder, if you go to the sale page on the Talon.Games site for the drop ship, the link for the missile pod STL files are there. So if you have access to a 3D printer and you want to start getting those printed, there you go. No matter where you go, there you are. Four amphibiers, one medic. Yeah, and I'm sure that there will be many games played just like that. So I used to play way back in the day with a game called Space Opera, and it was one of the coolest games and one of the most worst written games I've ever had to play. Paint contest judging. I'll get that done. We got started on it, and then all the stuff happened with the laser, and it's been kind of crazy. So I'll get to that. Haven't forgotten about it. It just has got pushed to the wayside with everything going on. I managed to get everything up, and then we went from there. Between all the orders and packaging and da 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 da. Just been a crappy 2 weeks getting anything done. But I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Unless everything burns down tomorrow, then it won't matter. We will officially be done. And what next? My brain is starting to shut down. I did get a bunch of art in over the last couple of days for the new initiative deck. So hopefully I'll get some of those that I can show as we get close. We're getting I think we're about 2/3 of the way there now with art. So once we have that all in, it'll go off to the printer. The cards and everything's already designed. It's just everything's waiting for the art. And each card has its own individual art. So do you guys have a system on how to make a race like rules? No. Probably that probably won't be something that'll go into the RPG or anything like that, because we basically have 5 known races. There's a couple of extra races or 3. There's 3 races that we'll talk about. 2 of them are under the control of the Rock, and then the other one is somewhere. I don't remember off the top of my head. Plus, I don't want to tell you at all until it comes out. But as far as actually for making a system that would allow you to design your own kind of alien, then probably not. I think that there's bigger things that I would like to cover than sort that out bigger than what we've already got. But I would imagine there's a system for putting together animals, creatures. So we'll have, because I think that's a big thing to have. There's a few mentioned within the rule book here and there, creatures on different worlds, and so I think that would be a big thing to come up with and have is a system for designing your own alien. And I think that'll be good where the alien game is good. Kind of see how they've statted out the aliens as a creature and stuff like that, and how that works with the combat system. So I think that'll be good. The other cool thing too will be neat to stat up a lot of the weapons, more of the infantry type stuff and everything like that. So, if you're playing, so much of that kind of stuff will cross over into the miniatures game too, just so that you have a better idea of, what is the assault rifle used by the A&Es or their standard rifle and stuff like that. So that'll be cool with a lot of that stuff come up, and you probably. If you've been watching Chris sculpt it all on Saturdays, he's back working on the 32 millimeter infantry. So there's some of the weapon systems have been showing up in there that he's been working on. I don't think he's mentioned the names or whatever, but you can see some of the type of weapons that some of the other races are using. I think he's working on a Malvern right now. I think is what I saw him working on. Hopefully he will be feeling better this Saturday. He's got a really sore throat and really can't talk. So hopefully he'll be back up and going this Saturday. I texted with him a little bit today and he is feeling better. So have you decided 28 millimeter or 32 millimeter? I have not. We've been calling it 32 millimeter, but we may end up doing 28 millimeter. I need to get some figures in for me to, because I don't want, I'm not trying to make our own scale. So depending on where that all works into kind of where a lot of the stuff that's out there already works, that will probably push us towards that direction. I know that originally when we did the big dictator model, we did it at 32 millimeter, which works out I think is 1/56 scale. But there's enough of a fudge factor if we need to say, oh wait a minute, it's going to be 28 millimeter. We can fix it from there, which I think makes it, I think 28 millimeters 1/60th. So in the grand scope of things, because that's, you know, we want to make sure that, you know, for those particular games or something that you might have a cav, that'd be, you know, have the big dictator and then the Starhawk that's coming up. You know, we'll have some of those in there, maybe a couple of vehicles that we can work in there. So as we get, that's the great thing with when they're that close in scale as we're sculpting, we can adjust accordingly. Since we haven't done anything yet officially in that deal. Because that's going to be the other part of that is a lot of the figures that we're going to be doing for that particular kind of our generic sci-fi line in that scale will be, you know, other people can use them for other games too. So we don't want to get too far out from what's already out there. We're at this point we're still officially calling it 32 millimeter though. So, but that is subject to change, as is everything here. I may wake up in the morning and decide that for the rest of my life, all I want to do is sell George Foreman grills. Will we get non-infantry model? Yes. Yeah, there'll be lots of stuff, and there'll be, like I said, it's really going to become kind of a modern, kind of a generic line for stuff like that. I could, you know, we probably will do some Cthulhu type people, you know, things like that for other, that works into some other games. That's more of a modern or sci-fi set. You know, those will all be released under the Rogue Legion. That name's being repurposed for this line. So what would I do without a roll of tape to keep me occupied? I doubt we'll get into anything like superheroes or anything like that, but it'll like I said, it'll be more sci-fi, modern, orientated type stuff. Maybe some, like I said, some Victorian figures would be kind of cool. There's some cool things that we could do with that, with kind of some steampunk stuff. Some modern soldiers, things like that. There's a lot of that that's been done out there, but most of that stuff's been hand sculpted, and some of it's good, some of it's not so good. So I think there's some room to do some nicer looking figures to work in some of those things. And with us having the ability now to do everything in house, or eventually once we get it all finished and set up, you know, we can do some things that maybe not normally would have been done. But definitely in the CAV universe, there'll be infantry and civilians and engineers and technicians and non-armored guys, pirates, corporate security. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Game designer minis. No, probably not. Probably not. We need Agent Walker. I don't know. That guy's bad news right now. He's bringing dishonor to the name. Maybe we need a Texas Ranger Walker. That's all we need. Not a bad guy, not a U.S. agent, Walker. I hear he burned out a laser gun this week in heavy combat. Don't be messing everything up, because I'm firmly believe that the fact that we had problems with our laser is completely JS Twitch's fault. So he had to say something, and voila, it happened. But we'll cross our fingers that will come in tomorrow and it will still be working. Because that's what happened last week. It ran all day long, turned it off, went home, come in the next day, tried to turn it on, and bam. Well, and there is a philosophy to that, but by the same token, there's also us that like to fly by the seat of our pants. Makes every day exciting and worth going to the next day. Colonel Kane, did you get your stuff today? I would have thought yours would have been already there. Since you're only 60 miles away. No, it says Thursday. Well, you can't really go by that. You should have got it today, I would have thought. I bet you get it tomorrow. They've got mail so messed up right now with dates or anything like that. Where did we sent something out? I want to say they were like New Hampshire or Vermont or something like that, and we sent it priority mail last week, and I think it took like 10 days for them to get their stuff. So drop the ball there. Oh, still in Kansas City. Well, I wouldn't think that it went to Kansas City. I would think you would be sorted out of Wichita. Will you do more terrain pieces? Yes. We're going to do some more terrain. It went to Wichita and then to Kansas City. Oh, strange. Never would have thought that. Crazy, 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 cray, cray. But yeah, so, and then like I said, I've had it show up on some people that are not going to be there for 4 days and then it's there the next day. So anyway, Yeah, no, there's more terrain. There's obviously much more MDF kits. Um, so some buildings, some pieces there that are working together. I think there'll be lots of stuff that we can do that will tie in together. So there'll be some kits that have some plastic pieces and some MDF pieces that work together. I think that'll make for some cool things that we can put together. Me too. It's just another step in the deal. So, all right. Well, we've hit the 9 o'clock hour. So, we're gonna call it a night. Like I said, if you wanna look into the year 0 rule set, if you just do a search, it'll pop up. There's two of them out there. There's a PDF one, and there is a guy that's done like a blog version. Frank or something, I think is his name. If that's the one that generally comes up when you do a search, but if you look right in the very top of that, right in there, there's a link to a PDF version that is much more traditionally set up like a rule book, and that'll give you an idea of kind of what we're looking at and what we're going to build off of. So, but we will have some kind of a workable version by ReaperCon in September, and once we have that ready to go, right before the weekend or right after we come back, we'll load it up for everybody to be able to look at it too. So anyway, woot for ReaperCon. Yep. Well, hopefully everything will go through and it will work. And it may be that we might, between now and then too, depending on how far we get with it or something, we might do a kind of an online one night, Friday night or something like that. We can do a Zoom call or something that we can throw up on Twitch that people can watch us play. So I think that'll would be something fun if we could get that put together. So, all right, boys and girls, I'm going home. Hopefully tomorrow will be another good day, and it's all downhill from here. So everybody be safe and take care. And me and James will be back tomorrow night with CAVHQ Live. So see you later, alligator.